Hi, welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at finding values of an unknown side value and also an unknown value of an angle. But for now, let's get started with finding a side. So this is a right angled triangle. Our degree angle here is 45 degrees. Our hypotenuse is 10. And we don't know what our opposite is. Now, because we do know our hypotenuse, but we don't know our opposite, we would use sine. Because remember, sine equals opposite over hypotenuse, which means we would have in our calculator sine, so press sine, 45 equals, so our opposite is unknown, our hypotenuse is 10. Now in order to work this x out, this one here, we need to move this 10 over to this side. So this is how it looks. So then x equals 10 multiplied by sine, so press the sine button, 45 degrees. Okay, and we will round it off to the 2 decimal places, so it's 7.07. So basically this figure here is now the value of this figure here. Okay, so let's have another go at finding a side. This time we're going to use cos. And you would probably remember that cos equals adjacent over hypotenuse. So for this example, we're going to say here is our angle and it's 38 degrees. And our hypotenuse is 8.5. Therefore, we don't know what our adjacent is. So we need to write that in. So cos 38 degrees equals x, because we don't know what adjacent is, and we know what our hypotenuse is 8.5. So let's move it on down. So we go x, before we go any further, we need to be able to move this figure here over to here. So x, so we swap the x over, x equals 8.5 times by cos in brackets 38 degrees. All right, and that will give us a figure, rounding off figure of 6.8. So this 6.8 is this x here. Okay, one more time. We're going to find the side and we're going to use tan this time. So let's do a quick refresher of tan. Tan equals opposite over adjacent. Here's our right angle triangle. And let's say this angle here is 66.5 degrees. We don't know what our opposite is, which is that one. And let's say our adjacent was 5.8. So this is how we're going to work out what to do. So tan, so press 10 on your calculator, 66.5 equals x, because we don't know what it is, over 5.8, which is our adjacent. Okay, once again, we need to move this figure over here. So x equals 5.8 multiplied by tan, 60 degrees, equals, rounding it off to 2 decimal places, is 13.8. So this figure here is now telling us this is the x. So this x equals 13.08. Okay, so now we're going to look at finding an angle. So in this case, you've got a right-hand triangle here. and you can see we've got our angle with an unknown value. So once again, remember we're going to use sine this time again, and just to jog your memory, it's opposite over hypotenuse. So because when we're finding an angle in our calculator, we need to press our second function button, okay, and then sine. And what you should see on your calculator, it'll look like a -1. So that would be the same if we were doing cos. You'd go second function cos and it would come up as cos -1, same for tan. Okay, so I'm not going to repeat that again. So just for when we're finding an angle, you press the second function first. Okay, so let's put some values on this particular triangle. Let's say our hypotenuse is 12. Okay, and our opposite is 5. So this is what we're going to do. So it is second function sine equals, big brackets, 5, because it's opposite, this one here, over hypotenuse, which is here. And then go equals. Once you punch that in, you should get, we're rounding it off to the nearest degree, and you should get close to 25 degrees. Okay, we're going to find another angle. This time we're going to use cos. So cos is our adjacent over hypotenuse. Remember, because it's the car. So let's label this up. Let's say this was 9 and this one here is 13. So we have second function cos, that says negative, equals adjacent figure 9, which is this one here because it's next to the degrees we're looking for, over 13, which is our hypotenuse. Once again, after we punch it into our computer, the nearest degree is 46 degrees. So this here is this degrees here, this angle. Okay, one last one. This time though we're going to use tan. So in this case, remember tan is opposite, that's an equals by the way, opposite over adjacent. So we use second function tan equals, now, oh, I forgot to label it up. So let's say this was 30 degrees and this was, 30 meters, and this was 167.5. So in this case, we put in our calculator second function tan, and then we go equals brackets. Now our opposite is here because it's opposite our degrees, so it's 30 over our adjacent, which is this figure here, 167.5, close brackets. We round it to our nearest degree and you should get close to 10 degrees. Okay, so let's have a few practices for homework. So let's say the first one, right angled triangle. We have x, 7, this is 38 degrees. You need to find the side length of x. Another one, we have 42 degrees. X, this is the right angle here, x, and this is 4. You need to tell me what x is. Okay, and let's do one more. And this one time I want you to find an angle. Let's say this is our right hand angle. We don't know that angle. This is 10, this is 6, and I want you, so this is our 0, I want you to find the angle. All right, see you in class.